What's going on, guys? This is Martyrs Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Dark Souls PvP. Alright, so this time around we're going to do Adventures in the Forest. Right now, first and foremost, I'd like to give a shout out to good old Mr. Bushido right here. During the time of this recording, he was actually having a stream going up. Right? And for a lot of you guys that are Bushido fans, no, this is not a rumble in the jungle. Right? No, it's not a battle of the builds. It just so happened that I was in the forest waiting to get summoned, for which, I think we had a few matches, probably 5 or 6 or so. In addition to some of the matches that went on a little bit after. Right? Because while I was there, I just kind of stuck around a little bit. And I had some other guys who, I just so happened to randomly invade, or they just randomly summoned me without a pre-arrangement. Right. So basically, I just put a lot of that material together. And a lot of it is, it's pretty good material. Now, let me just give you guys a forewarning. This will not be a full commentary. Right now, I know some of you guys are probably like, whew, right? We get a break from these guys' long speeches. Well, in the brigade, we like to kind of mix it up every now and then. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of commentary. And then the last of it, I'm going to try to kind of add some tunes for you guys' enjoyment. Right? Because actually I have a lot of uploads that I, just kind of trying to put material together for, trying to add commentary to. But I'm kind of going through what you might call commentaries block. Right, if you guys are kind of unfamiliar, to the extent that you guys have been to college, or maybe even in high school, you're writing papers. Maybe you may have a 10 or 12 page essay or research paper to do, and you're just kind of like, dude, what do I even talk about? Right? So this is what I'm experiencing right now. It's commentaries block. Right? Especially knowing that I have a few more other videos that I need to add commentary to. So this is why it won't be a full commentary. But at the same time, hopefully you guys will definitely enjoy the music selection. I watch a lot of other YouTubers, Dark Souls YouTube uploaders. Right? And, I kind of check out videos on a daily basis just to see, who's bringing out material, who's got, new good PvP, to see if there are going to be any more commentaries, because from what I have seen, there are actually not a lot of people who do commentaries, right? And to the extent that there are, in some cases, they're only doing like 2 or 3 minutes, but they're not really engaging in, kind of like a full-fledged discussion on PvP or PvP related topics. Right, so a lot of times I'm always checking out to see, okay, who's kind of been motivated to add some new flavor to the PvP commentary world. Right, because I know a lot of guys, according to what I've read in the comments, they kind of get irritated with my commentaries. Despite the fact that they're still subscribed, I don't really know why they would be irritated and still watch the vids, but it is what it is. I appreciate all of my subscribers, right? Both the ones who are satisfied with the brigade and those who are dissatisfied, because at the end of the day, I still have your attention, right? And this is seen not only in PvP commentary, but also in media, right? Now, I'm definitely not trying to liken myself to media. I'm just giving an analogy of, a situation whereas you have people who may observe, who may check out your information, although they may not necessarily or agree or like the commentary. Case in point, I listen to a lot of conservative radio, right? Because sometimes the lib radio is just kind of ridiculous. And now, I'm not saying this to say that I like conservative radio or that I agree with it. But, some of the points that they argue are pretty good. And although I do not really like it, I always find myself listening to it. I listen to the, good old Michael Medved's. Who else? I used to listen to Michael Savage and a lot of these other guys that tend to talk about controversial topics, but they're actually pretty funny when you listen to them. Right, but enough about that. I just use that example to say that, a lot of times, you're kind of stuck in a situation where you may not necessarily like or agree with the person that you're watching or listening to. However, for some reason, you continue to watch or listen to it. Right, so whether you enjoy the brigade, whether you can't stand the brigade, as long as I have your subscription, I appreciate it. Right, it is what it is. That's just kind of how it is sometimes. Now, these stone giants can really get annoying after you kill them. Alright, there's been a few occasions where I'm kind of having a 1v1 situation, and I don't know if the person thought I was trying to escape. I don't know what they thought, but I've kind of been stuck in situations where I'm trying to move those stone giants out the way, and somebody will just haul off and attack me. Right, and as a matter of fact, you're going to see this a little later on, and it kind of ticked me off because I'm thinking to myself like, hey dude, I'm obviously not engaging, I'm not even targeting you, I'm not even running in your direction. You're obviously watching me move these stone giants. Right, and this is even after a so-called bow. Right, you'll get some of these guys who say, this is the appropriate thing to do. However, they'll just go ahead and engage me when I'm obviously not locked on, not engaging, or not making them an object to my attacks. But, kind of is what it is. What can you do about it? Right? These are just the conditions under which we play in Dark Souls. Alright, so let's see. What do we have going on here? Oh, my bad, dude. And actually, if you notice, we don't try to get any free shots here. After I saw him grass, and that's kind of one of the downsides of popping off with the archer combinations. Once you see someone preparing for battle, you just engage. And this is why one thing that I would suggest is that if you're going to grass, and actually here's the fight right here. If you guys notice, I'm being attacked by a stone giant. Right? And he attacked me while I was fighting him. Now, granted, I've been in situations like this. Perhaps he didn't see what I was doing. But as you guys can see right now, I'm obviously trying to move the stone giant. But here comes the hot shot with his little high-speed BS. Right? So now I'm ticked off. Now, despite being ticked off, I have to ensure that I don't lose focus. Because I don't know if I kind of mentioned this before, but I kind of used to box when I was younger, and one of the things that they used to say is that and actually I won't say that they say, but you really have to learn how to control your emotions when you're engaging in any type of physical sport, may it be boxing, may it be wrestling, for which I did a little bit of. You really have to get disciplined, right? Because a lot of times if you allow your emotions to rule you, you'll leave yourself open to attacks, and you'll leave yourself open to the many vulnerabilities that you may possess. Right, so enough about that. So this guy's hitting me off with the Grave Lord. Now that's a pretty decent weapon to use, although you don't really see it used a lot. Mainly because I think the damage output is rather poor, especially when you compare it to the Murakumo. Now, obviously, if you have certain weight restrictions, the Gravelord sword is probably a better option. But when you really look at the damage output, and you compare it to the toxic buildup, I don't know. It kind of is what it is. I kind of wish, if the damage output was so low, that they would probably increase the toxic output. Right, because that toxic doesn't really build up that fast, and I don't know, it just seems not to be worth it. Now I was kind of thinking about trying to experiment with the Grave Lord. Now I didn't really know how I would go about doing it, and actually now that I'm thinking about it, I think I would use poison arrows along with the Grave Lord sword and some other type of status effect. Maybe I would use the toxic mist pyromancy, and you know what, that might be a good idea. Now that I'm thinking about it, and that's why I really like watching these vids, even when I'm editing them, because a lot of times there's things that I'm thinking up not necessarily while I'm playing, but during the time that I'm watching the vids myself, I kind of get ideas in my head. So I think I might just come up with a Grave Lord build, right? One that concentrates on the usage of the Grave Lord sword, the status effects, ailments like with the poison arrows, in addition to the toxic mist. All right, so we got a good old Pyromancer. Now, as I said before, I don't know if you guys are familiar with good old Bushido, but I'd like to give another shout out to him. Go ahead, check out his YouTube channel. He contributes a lot of good uploads, and actually I haven't checked out his channel in a while. I don't know if he discontinued it now that he streams, but he also streams on the twitch.tv. So if you guys want to kind of participate in some good old Fight Club, or maybe some, I don't really know if he hosts tournaments, but I do know he hosts fight clubs. So if you guys want to take a shot at Bushido, or maybe some of these other hotshot players, go ahead and check out his live stream on twitch.tv, and hopefully you can catch some good action. Alright guys, that's it for the commentaries. Martyrs Brigade is out.